Top of the hour, we're getting some developments from Australia, wherein the country is going to introduce laws to Parliament next week banning public displays and sales of Nazi hate symbols, citing a rise in far-right activities at home.
The Hakenkreuz is one of the most recognizable symbols of Nazi propaganda and the insignia of the SS, the paramilitary wing of the Nazi party, will be outlawed to be used as flags and armbands printed on clothes.
So these developments coming in Australia, of course, coming in after Prime Minister Modi's visit to the country, which recently took place. Let me go across to my colleague Rishab, who is joining us live for more on this. Rishab, that's a crucial move coming in. Also, the observation which has come in from the countryside saying that the ban is not going to be imposed on swastika. They have also called it a significant symbol.
Definitely, if you see the Nazi symbol has been, will be outlawed in Australia. The federal government is all set to bring in a legislation next week. But to make it very clear for the viewers that Nazi symbol does not mean swastika. Swastika or Nazi salute has not been banned or will not be banned by Australian government because of its religious significance towards Hinduism, Jainism as well as Buddhism. And the government has made it very clear that they are only banning the Nazi symbol, the black and red symbol of Nazi party, and which became the German flag during the Nazi era. And that is being banned in Australia. The federal government move comes after a long-standing demand by a lot of pressure groups saying that these far-right groups need to be banned and all their symbols need to be banned to stop the racial crime that is prevalent in different parts of Australia. We have seen racial crimes even against Indians as well as African citizens or nationals in Australia. And the pressure group and NGOs believe that the far-right groups need to be reined in. So in a move to rein in these far-right groups, the federal government has decided to bring in this legislation. Most probably this legislation will be tabled in the House once the House meets next week in Canberra in the Parliament. And once it is passed, it will become a law.
Right. We have editor of Australia Today, Dr. Amit Sarwal, joining us on the broadcast. Thank you very much for giving us your time. A very, very significant development taking place in Australia with this decision of banning Hakenkreuz and also differentiating that swastika is a religious symbol and talking about how Hakenkreuz and the symbols that only talk about hatred and violence will be banned.
Yes, this is a kind of very significant development that we see, particularly if you look at New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland. They have already passed similar legislation at state level, and this one next week is going to be the federal level legislation that needs to be implemented all over Australia. And one of the good things that you have mentioned is that it significantly says that the Hindu swastika is not part of this ban, and therefore all consultations have been done with the concerned community groups, particularly the Jewish community and the Hindu community in Australia, to educate and enlighten people about Hindu culture.
And also, Mr. Sarwal, of course, this decision has come in lately after Prime Minister Modi's visit to the country. So how can we see this statement and decision coming in respect of that?
Now, one of the things is that since 2021, various state governments were working, and maybe Prime Minister Modi has also raised this issue at federal level. Community members have been writing to the Indian government to take up the matter that, there cannot be a blanket ban on swastika, the use of swastika. And this one actually says, at some point, if you're selling anything related with the Hindu swastika, there were chances of it being misrepresented as the Nazi hate symbol. But now the government says that they will allow the Hindu swastika to be used publicly, and there is no danger of it being used publicly. But the awareness needs to be created. I think Prime Minister Modi's visit would have played some role in it, explicating the matter.
Absolutely. At a time when there are anti-Hindu conclaves being organized on foreign soil, how do you see this development?
Well, this is a very welcoming development at this stage. I think the community is joyous that, apart from joy, as you pointed out very well, that the vandalism of Hindu temples have been a great concern for the local community. I think the government should work in that regard as well. They should pass some kind of legislation making it a hate crime, not just graffiti. Albanese has said that he will deal with vandalism in a very stricter manner, but at this stage we need to see that in action.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sarwal, for joining in and sharing all those insights on this big story that we are tracking in, wherein this crucial decision has been taken by the Australian government, wherein they are going to bring a bill banning the Nazi symbol. But for the meantime, let's move on.